Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And we have a topical video for you guys today, which we are so excited to talk about. But before we talk about any of that, we just want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe. You want to see all of our videos as they come out. We do reviews, we do top 10s, we do convention vlogs, we do skits. You just want to make sure to subscribe so you can see all of our content.
And speaking of convention vlogs, let's talk about that. What is a convention? What kind of conventions are there? Which ones are we going to? Where might we see you? Let's have some fun talking about the conventions that we are planning on going to this year in 2025.
There's a few different categories of conventions that we've decided are categories. There's local, there's regional, there is national, there's private, and then there's professional.
And we hit them all.
Yeah, we are going to touch on all of them. Now, the very first convention we are going to talk about is one we've actually already attended, but it really works for the local category because it was right here in our home city. So it's definitely a local convention. This was put on by a community college. They called it EIC Gaming Convention. It was only one day, so...
They're stretching what convention means.
Counts. But
we liked it.
Yeah, it was really cool. They had over 300 people attend. The convention was completely free. It was completely open. All they wanted you to do was register beforehand. And even just registering, you actually got 2 tickets for free for their raffles that they had. And they had really great offerings for raffles. They had a good blend of games and then like gaming adjacent things. So that was really cool. At this convention, they had a ton of open gaming. They had like VR and video game competitions. They had one-shot RPGs. They also had scheduled gaming that you could sign up for. And then you could purchase additional tickets for those raffles. And all of that money went to a local food bank. And because it went to a food bank, you could also donate non-perishable items for additional tickets as well. So that's what they were trying to do. This college actually has I don't know what you call it, but they have food and clothing and feminine products, like just stuff for their students whenever they need it. It's completely free and available for all of them. So this convention was kind of just bringing awareness to that and trying to stock that with things. So that was really cool. It was local. They did a great job. It's the second year that they've done it, and they've grown almost twice as much in that second year. So they're doing a really great job, and it was fun to just hang out with a bunch of our local people that we game with anyway, but also support something that's happening right here in our hometown, because if we want stuff like this to continue to happen, we need to make sure we're participating in it. We can't be upset 5-10 years down the road when we're like, how come there's nothing here when there was stuff here and we weren't helping it grow as well? So that was a local convention that we just went to like a month ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. And they called it EICC, which is Eastern Iowa Community College, EICC Gaming Convention.
And there was previously some other conventions that were hosted in our in our hometown, and for various reasons they've not repeated or come back in the past few years, and it could be COVID had something to do with that. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if there's a local convention in your area, support it. There's nothing more fun you can do locally for a weekend. You don't have to pay for a hotel if it's your local, near your region area, but also just meeting new gamers in your area that might create long-term friendships. One of our best gaming friends I met at a local convention. I was running a game of Merlin, or maybe Castle Burgundy, I can't remember. He came up to the table, wanted to play. He liked Stefan Feld. I'd never met him before. We played a game together. I taught him, and now we're like friends. And we've been friends for like 8 years now because of like a local convention.
Yeah.
Cannot recommend that enough. Kind of on the bigger scale, let's kind of go up a notch.
Yeah.
And this would be what I would call a regional convention. There's lots of cool regional conventions that they still have a local feel, but are big enough to have more draw from a wider range, right?
Yeah.
What I'm talking specifically about is Geekway to the west. This happens in St. Louis, as the name kind of suggests. And it's got thousands of people. It's much bigger, but it still retains that intimate feel.
Yeah,
in a really great way. Every time I go, I've been maybe, I can't remember, 5-6 years now, and it just feels like I'm coming home. Every time I show up at the door, the volunteers are amazing. The biggest draw that it has is this huge play to win section. They get amazing games donated to them from all different publishers, and then they get a bunch of copies, like 5, 6, 7 copies of each of these games. You can check them out from the library for free, and then at the end of it, they give them all away to people who have played them, just as as a thank you for showing up and thank you for playing our games. The culture they've built is unbelievable. It's what keeps me coming back. I mean, I'll walk by a table, and if someone has these little stands that say teacher needed, and if I know the game, I'll stop by and say, oh, I know how to teach that game. Do you mind if I teach you how to play? And they're like, oh, absolutely, that'd be great, and I teach someone how to play. And then, we become friends. I see them again the next year, and it's a party. Same thing, if we need help playing a game, we're setting it up, we're pouring over the rules, it's a more complicated game. Someone might say, hey, I know that one. You mind if I teach you, or mind if I sit down and join you, or whatever? And it's like, yeah, absolutely, it's super cool. Prizes are amazing. They have scheduled events that are amazing. They have like a fancy gaming event, which is like you dress up in in a suit or a dress or whatever it is, and you go out and you just play board games, but like in a fancy setting.
Yeah.
And I love that. There's all different tournaments. I'll be participating in a boop tournament this year. Last year I got knocked out like in the 3rd or 4th round. This year I'm making it to the top, baby. And I'm just really excited about that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Geekway to the West is one of the most well-run conventions. It's just a smooth-oiled machine, and it is so friendly and so fun.
And to speak more on that friendly vibe, I remember when our eldest was 9, and she saw a game that she wanted to play, and they had one of those, like, players needed. And I was a little hesitant of this group of adults, like, as a parent, you're just like, they're going to think this is annoying or whatever. But she joined them and she played with them and she actually did really well. And just the fact that they didn't think, I don't want this kid playing with me. But the fact that she was able to join them and it was just really, of course you can play with us. We wanted players anyway. This is going to work out. And she sat and played the game, and that happened multiple times was just a really great sign to me as a parent that, okay, my kid can come here, play any game. She was so excited when she was able to check out her own games last year, and she didn't have to use any of our badges. Her and our youngest were just like checking out games willy-nilly and playing them, and it was just a really, really fun experience.
And we can get, like, over the course of the 4 days, like, I don't know, 30 games played. And even when we get back to our to our lodging at night, we're playing games with a bunch of friends there too.
Yeah.
If there's a small like vendor area, buy some games or maybe won some games. We go back to the lodging and we play some more games.
Yeah.
This solid jam-packed gaming. Oh, so good.
All right, let's move on to something like national. It doesn't have a couple hundred, it doesn't have a couple thousands, it has tens of thousands of people, and that is Gen Con. This is a national, maybe international convention. It usually, I think last year it had over 70,000 attendees. It is huge. Now, we will make another video about Gen Con before we go to Gen Con, just talking about where we're going to be, where you can find us, stuff like that, because there is so much that happens. But one of the things that I think is really neat about a large convention like Gen Con is you can kind of curate it to your taste. There are so many different things that are happening at so many different times. If you just want to play one long 12-hour after 12-hour after 12-hour RPG session where you go on this journey, yeah, you can 100% do that. If you just want to walk the dealer hall and play test games all day, yeah, you can do that. If you just want to paint and do yoga the whole time, yeah, you can do that. I'm totally serious. This convention is for everybody. You can curate it to your taste. And I just think that is so incredible that it really does have something for everybody, regardless if you're like 6 months old or 95. They have you covered.
And some people say that that's not a great convention for open gaming. And to be sure, there's other conventions that are better for open gaming. Like we just mentioned, Geekway is a wonderful one.
Great open gaming.
BGG Con. There's all kinds of ones that have great open gaming scenarios. But if you think that there's not gaming opportunities at Gen Con, you're not looking. It is everywhere. Every hotel room, every hotel lobby, filled with games. There's a huge open, ballrooms that are just open gaming. There's the Lucas Oil Stadium, which has a huge, amazing library. There's scheduled events that have every game you could possibly think of, from brand new games to party games to classic games to miniatures games, and there's scheduled events for all of them. If you are not able to find a game to play at Gen Con, you are not looking, because they are everywhere. And I agree, it's not what it's there for.
Correct.
It's more about spectacle, new releases, variety, just celebrating of general geek culture. with it bent towards board gaming and tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
But
and a lot of publishers also will accept like pitch meetings there as well, because it's just a great place where they know a lot of people are going to be. So if you're a designer, Gen Con is also another great place to be to just pitch your game at, with different publishers.
So I have no idea if I'm going to have enough material ready for this coming Gen Con, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get at least a couple of pitch meetings. And again, as you know, media or reviewers or whatever, there's lots of great opportunities for us to hear about new releases and new things that are coming down the pipeline from all these great companies. This is a wonderful place to find out about all that and network within the industry as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so then we've talked about small, medium, and large conventions, right? Now let's talk about micro miniature conventions. We host what we call a convention. Our last name is Numi. We call it Numi Con after our last name. We rent a cabin out in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of nowhere to Amish country, and we just invite a bunch of our friends, and we just play games, kind of bringing that Geekway kind of vibe and that culture back with us, and we just play games for 4 days straight, and it's amazing. And we'll do fun little things like little trivia nights, or we'll have a big potluck style dinner where we'll all have like a theme, like a taco night or a pizza night or whatever it is. And we do some fishing. We'll sleep in till super late, or wake up super early and play games early. Doug and Blake. And
we basically just drink coffee, eat snacks, and play games in our sweatpants all day.
Oh, it's glorious.
It's like it.
And because we're in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing to distract us, disturb us. We can have bonfires and play like party games around a bonfire in the middle of the night and just look up and see like the Milky Way and all the constellations in crystal clear because there's no light pollution. Oh, it's the best.
What's really funny about this one is in all the years that we posted it, we've been at all but 2 years we've been at this same facility, and now like when I think of that facility, I don't think of what it's actually called. I like think of that and I think Numi Con.
Well, that's kind of what I do with Indianapolis, the Indiana Convention Center.
Oh, yes,
when I'm in Indianapolis for work and I drive by, I'm like, oh, there's Gen Con. What are those people doing in Gen Con? I don't understand what they're doing. They're using my building, like, but it's a convention center that is used all year long, of course. Yeah,
this event definitely has that same like vibe for me. Like when I walk into that building, I'm like, Numi Con. So this is what we would consider a private event.
So you are not invited, and we would love to have you, but you're not invited. Sorry. We do encourage you to have your own Numi Con. Yes. Have your own Smith or Jones Con, whatever it is that you have. Invite your friends out, rent a cabin, rent some kind of Airbnb. Don't let it be in your exact hometown, because then you'll be tempted to
just go back home.
Go back home and sleep or do whatever and not come back out. Get away for an hour or two and go with your friends and just play games. You will not regret it. If you've been thinking about it, if it's been an idea in your head, do it. You will not regret it.
And
it's the best.
You can just start small. You can just do like one night, and then if it works out and you like the people, do it next year again for 2 nights. Like, you don't have to go, I need to rent this for a week, you guys have to come with me because I can't afford this by myself. Just start small and build from there. You will not regret it. You will have a great time.
All right, so then kind of going back to more of a regional convention, I guess, size. Later on in September, we'll be going to something called the Strong Tower Gaming Convention, which we're actually going to be able to be special guests for, which I don't think we're cool enough and special enough to be special guests.
We're totally not, but I love
we're very
that
honored.
they think.
We're very honored to be able to do that anyways.
Yeah. So this is just a really fun, it would probably be like a regional convention. They have, I don't know, like 400 people?
400 or 500 people last year.
So this is a great place because of its more intimate setting. A great place if you're going to be there to actually play a game with us, and we would love to play a game with you. But one of the things I really like specifically about this one, and a lot of smaller conventions have it, like I mentioned, the EICC Gaming Convention was raising money for their food pantry. This one also basically sponsors a local nonprofit in their area. But what I really like about it is they have that local nonprofit come and set up a booth so everybody who's at the convention could talk to somebody who works or volunteers for that nonprofit. So you can really get like one-on-one of what's happening, what they're doing, how they're helping their community. And I just think that's so cool. It's not this ethereal thing where you just see a poster, this is what we're donating money to, and like, okay, awesome. I have to go online and find that out myself, but that they have an actual person there that I can talk to about. I just thought that was really cool that they always have somebody from the organization that they're supporting there to talk about the organization as well. What's really cool about that, especially if it is regional, you might be able to get volunteers that way as well.
And all these kinds of companies need volunteers, right?
Yeah.
I would also say that we're going to be running a lot of events there. So we're actually going to be hosting some games, some silly games, some fun games, maybe some more big, intense Euros as well. So if you are planning on going, or if this is kind of piqued your interest and you want to check it out, there's going to be the events are going to be posted in the next month or two, and be sure to check it out. If you see Ryan and Bethany, play with Ryan and Bethany. You're going to be playing with us, and we'll be fighting you to the death in these games. We're going to do our best. We're not going to hold back at all. And there's going to be hosting a lot of different events, so of all different types, party games, strategy games, everything in between. Yeah,
and now Ryan will have to leave me behind to discuss this next type of convention.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is later on in the fall, after Strong Tower, I'm going to be going to a couple of Protospiel events. Now, Protospiels happen all year long in cities all over the country and even all over the world. What is a Protospiel? It is a small kind of convention specifically designated for designers to play test their games. So you can invite playtesters to come as well. Designers are going to be playing each other's games. Playtesters coming in as well, and give you feedback. So you might have a game idea that you have, and you don't know if it's good or bad. Make a mock-up of it, bring it to a Protospiel, have other people play with you, and you're going to get tons and tons of amazing feedback at the end of it. They're going to tell you, this is what worked, this is what didn't, this is what I liked, this is what I would keep in the game, this is what I would consider changing. And, you take all that feedback and you kind of digest it, and you figure out what's the next step. What should I do now? And also, you get to play other people's games too. In fact, they encourage you. In fact, I would say it's borderline required. If you are just playing your own game, you're probably being selfish. You want to be playing other people's games as well, because then you get a chance to give them a little bit of your knowledge and your experience and your feedback to a designer. And you might be able to say, hey, this game was fantastic. There's a real chance this can get marketed. Or I might say, you know what? I've played a game that was very similar to this. It's, you want to check it out to make sure you're not, too close of a game to it. Or maybe, you know what? This game, I did not have a good time during it, and this is why. There might be a core game idea here, but I would consider changing this, before you go any farther. Yeah. And I've seen games that are just paper and pen, all the way up to near final completion, really nice production-style components, and everything in between. It's all welcome, and it's all exciting, and it's all cool. And as a playtester, I would encourage you to show up to a Protospiel event, too, because you get to be on the ground floor of some amazing game that you've never heard of yet, because it's not out yet. And you get to say, I was a part of that. I got to play that back when it was, nothing. It was back on a blank card scribbled on in pencil or whatever. And I've played a few of those kinds of games that have now become real published games and have won awards and done things. And I get to think back and think, I remember when they were just a small little, publishing company or a small little idea that on a piece of paper, and I got to watch it develop over time, and I'm so excited to be able to buy it in the store now and support them. So as a playtester, I encourage you to go to it. As a designer, I beseech you to go and get your games play tested. And as publishers are going to be there as well, because they're going to be walking around and just giving out general good feedback from their perspective, but also maybe, and I will say a strong maybe, like don't bank on it, but they might be looking for games that they can possibly put into their catalog as well. This might be a good fit for us. Let's talk more after the event. That kind of a thing. So, Protospiel events are fantastic. I'll be going to the one in Chicago in September for sure. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Also, there's a couple in Wisconsin, either in Madison or Milwaukee, and I've heard there might be some problems hosting one or the other, but I'll definitely go to whichever ones are still happening. I'll go to those. There's one in Minnesota which is really well attended. There's one in Atlanta that's an amazing. It's not called Protospiel, it's called Proto ATL, but it's the same idea, right? It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then we even talked about possibly starting one here in Iowa, but that has not kicked off the ground yet. And I highly encourage Protospiels. I'll be going to at least 2 this year. And
Ryan's going to take one of my games with him.
Hey, she's got a few ideas, and they're actually pretty fun. So,
well, you're biased, but thank you.
Hey,
I like them.
We'll take it to Protospiel and find out. That's the whole point.
We'll find out if other people like them. Yes, take relational biases out of here, and people will be like, but that's okay. That's okay.
All right, so we want to know a couple things. First of all, what conventions are you going to this year? Is there an amazing regional or local convention that you want to give a shout out to? Put it in the comments below. Even if we can't necessarily make it, we want other people to be in your area to be able to find that and check it out. Also, if you want to have our game with us, if you see us anywhere, say hi to us. We'd love to hear from you and say hi to you back. If you ever actually want to play a game with us, the two best conventions this year would be the Strong Tower Gaming Convention and Geekway.
Yes.
Those are where to have the most flexibility and the most table space and the most time and everything else.
Yeah, because there is no schedule. Gaming is the schedule. That is what you want to do. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, like Ryan said, about your favorite convention. We just want to hear from you. We really enjoy hearing from you. And till then, don't forget to subscribe, as you can see all our videos as they come out. Till then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
You guys, thanks for watching our shenanigans. As always, we appreciate it. Over here, if you follow this link, you're going to find a playlist we've hand-selected, handcrafted, just for you, because you watched this video.
And if you check over here, this is a video that YouTube thinks you might like. So you can check that out if you want as well.
All right, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.